Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to once again another episode of Big Brother Podcast with my good friend Gocubs 711.
Hey Chris, did you know that I was almost on the Olympic diving team?
Really, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I went to the U.S. trials, and I got up there and I said, "Check this shit out, motherfuckers!" And they cannonballed into the pool.
Wow,
They said that they didn't think that this was the right fit for me. I must have been too good.
I I think that in terms of maybe the diving team wasn't good enough for you. You
Yeah,
should have gotten bigger and better heights, like the absolute like badass jumping competition into the pool.
you can. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the Big Brother podcast. And what was originally a vanilla week turned into utter chaos, as
Oh boy.
everything has hit the fan, and I am thrilled because I love chaos. So let's start off right away with the Sunday episode where we finally, for us live feed watchers, got to watch the HOH competition live. After the episode, it was a lot of fun watching it. I was working on Big Brother Access during it, so it was a lot of fun. But essentially, they swung around, and the trolls were getting ready to hit them, even though they never really hit them until they fell. And it came down to Victor versus Natalie. Natalie was practically begging for the HOH competition to go in her favor, but Victor was not going to have any of it. And Natalie just gave up, fell, and Victor was the new head of household. Another thing
Yep.
to know, Michelle vomited during it. That was fun.
Yes. And I think they missed the censoring a couple times.
Yeah, it was not fun seeing it uncensored.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
just say that.
I'll Yeah, I can't vouch for that, but
Yeah, that's the live feeds. Live feeds, you get to see everything. Um, so Victor won the HOH, and it was kind of a bummer because he kind of figured, well, unless he goes with his plan to actually go after Paulie, it seems like it's just gonna be another week of the executive's reign
yeah.
over the house. So we have Victor and Paulie basically, and all the executives. They're trying to decide, okay, like
All
who
the guys in the house.
basically, yeah. They are like, oh, who is the biggest threats in our game right now? And they're like Zakia and Michelle.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right. I mean, I guess that makes sense, maybe. Um, so ultimately, the reason why Victor nominated those two is because he wants Zakia out of the game. But Paul's like, oh, I have something on my sleeve, and he wants Michelle out of the game. So we basically the whole week is like them trying to figure out who the fuck to go home. So they put up Zakia and Michelle, and it's not too big of a deal, but the nomination ceremony speech is one of that could go down as one of the better speeches out there, or I
That
should
was
say even
pretty.
better, but like interesting.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it was
can
it
we
was quite the
can we recount it at all? Like, do you remember how it went?
I don't
Yeah.
I think he was speaking as if he was saying poetry, but I don't think anything rhymed.
Yeah, I think it was definitely he was definitely a poet. And
Yeah.
my favorite part is when he threw beads.
Yeah.
That was just like
Have some beads.
have some beads, rekindle our friendships now. And he's just, and meanwhile, like
And
Michelle
then
just,
Michelle burst into tears.
yeah, which happens a lot. Uh, and Zakia is just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Now Michelle gets, of course, really really upset about that. And she has almost a full blown meltdown about it. Meanwhile, Zakia is remaining pretty calm. She's just like, yeah, whatever. And that's what basically triggers Paul and Victor to be like, well, you know what? Maybe we should get out Zakia because Zakia's calm and collected while Michelle's just a mess. So it shows that Zakia might be a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
and we don't want that to be in the house. So they get to the veto pickings, and it is they pick Polly to play, uh, Corey, I think, maybe. Who I forget. I
No,
forget.
not Corey.
Not Corey. I'm trying to think of who was playing.
Let's see. It was Victor, Zakia, Michelle, Nicole, James, and Polly.
Polly. Okay.
Yeah.
So Zakia picked Polly, expecting him to use the veto, but Polly kind of was having, he didn't really know for sure what he was gonna do if he won. So that was gonna be something that was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So Polly really though wants to get out Michelle, and so he's definitely campaigning with trying to get with Nicole and Corey because they're his like right up his ass basically. And he thinks that James as well. James is totally fine with getting out Michelle. So it's gonna be an interesting battle to see who wins this veto, to see if there's any change in the dynamic of the nominations. Can you explain the veto competition if you remember?
All right. So the veto competition was hide and go veto, which is now I think my favorite like recurring veto competition ever.
That's awesome.
It's so much fun to watch. So basically, what they do is they have each person has to go into the house and hide this like placard that they have somewhere in the house, and uh, as soon as they're done, uh, everyone takes turns going in and tries to find someone else's, and they fucking tear the house apart.
Mm-hmm. It is
Why
insane.
James decided to throw all of the eggs out of the carton. Like, individually take each egg out of the carton and throw it behind him.
James just likes causing chaos. He's another guy that he likes chaos. He likes to make a mess of everything.
Yeah.
Now, as a viewer outside the house, I'd be like, this is funny. If I was inside the house and I had to clean all that up, I would be like...
No, that would be shitty.
I'd be like, oh my god. God damn it.
So if I remember where they all hid them, Michelle hid them inside of a veto competition outfit. Uh, Victor hid his... I'll come back to Victor.
He hid it in Bridget's duffel bag.
Oh, yeah. He hid it in Bridget's duffel bag. Zakia hid hers literally, like, just under a couple things in the safari room. James hid his inside of a comforter. Nicole hid hers inside the popcorn machine, but upside down, so it was harder to see it. And fucking Paulie took off the top of the table and put his veto card underneath it, and like inside of the table.
Yeah, that... I kind of figured like, oh man, I don't know if anyone's gonna find that, because it's insane how like that like, no, I don't think anyone has ever thought of that before.
No.
That's insane to have to. I didn't even know that table could open up.
Me neither.
That was kind of ridiculous. So
yeah,
anyways,
so like,
go ahead.
Obviously, Paulie won that challenge.
Yeah, Polly won. And everyone loses from the house being a mess.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, just when they went inside, they were like, "How did you not get found?" And then when he showed them where it was, they were like, "Okay, yeah, you definitely deserve to win that."
Yeah. One of my favorite moments is how, it really started to just drag on and on and on. And
Paul was napping.
Paul began to nap, and I guess this is more like adding on to all the weird shit that I like about Paul, is that he's just such a character, because then during the whole double eviction, he has the ducky floaty.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
And the whole friendship thing.
Oh, well, yeah, well, the friendship thing gets kind of obnoxious, but yes.
So I think there should be a rule that whenever Paul isn't competing, he should host the video competitions.
Oh, absolutely. He was
like,
into
that should just be a rule from here on out.
Yeah, he's absolutely into it. But yeah, I definitely have completely changed on the Paul front. He has his moments where he could be a dick, but I try to give him the benefit of the doubt at times, so
Yeah.
it's all good. But anyways, so Paulie has now won the veto, and now the question is, well, are you gonna save your girl or not? And initially he decides, alright, I don't think I'm gonna use it. And he tells that to Sakia, but in the strangest way. In a way that pisses Gocubs off so much. what exactly happened? You forget?
I forget the exact way.
Well,
I just remember he was being a huge dick about it.
Well, what was the analogy he used?
Oh my god, yeah!
Okay! You have to be on time with this, Gocubs.
Yeah, okay. So, last podcast, last season, I talked about how Vanessa used this chess analogy incorrectly. Guess fucking what? Paulie used it incorrectly too.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's like, oh, if your queen's in danger, sometimes the king has to make a move. If your queen is fucking in danger, if your queen is in danger, odds are your queen can either get the fuck out of the way or take out the piece that's in danger. I don't think people realize that the queen is the most powerful piece in chess, and the king is the thing that you're supposed to protect. Because if the king can't go in danger, otherwise you lose. That's just how the game fucking works, and you don't know how the game works, and you're so awful. Sometimes the king has to make a move to protect his queen. No! The queen can fucking take care of herself. She's much more powerful than the king.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't. I might have reached your anger level if I knew how to play chess, but
it's just like they act so like sure about themselves and like that they're like, oh, this is like the biggest, most philosophical thing I've ever said, but you're wrong.
This is my highest achievement in words.
Brother, I'm gonna get the chess analogies right.
That's actually your entire gameplay if you go into Big Brother. It's just you're just gonna speak in chess analogies. But no,
I took my glasses off for that rant.
You shows how intense it gets. I don't know, man. It's just weird because people try to be like, oh, I want to be remembered as being like this great player. I want to have a famous line that people remember me by, and then they do that. I don't know why it always goes to chess, because I guess maybe because Big Brother's like a chess game, but like fucking.
It's not a chess game though. Like chess has two sides. Fucking Big Brother has 16.
Oh man! All right,
there's no power of veto in chess. You can't be like, no, I don't want you to make that move, veto.
I think the person at Cross Street is just gonna be like, "What? Jesus, what the fuck?"
God damn!
I vote to evict you. Wait, no, wait.
I vote to evict your rook.
Oh my god! All right,
Round trip ticket is back in the game. Fuck, man.
You got a round trip ticket back to the game. Oh my god. Alright, you're going to the jury house, you lock him in the closet.
Alright, can we move on?
Yeah. So Paulie gives the stupid little analogy, and then they play it up, how, Paulie, begins to talk to Paul about, maybe I should save Z in order to make sure that Michelle goes home, but he doesn't end up doing so. The block remains the same, and Z still trusts Paulie after all that. So it just goes ahead and shows you that she clearly has like some like Stockholm syndrome of some sort. So it's now going to be Sakia and Michelle for this block, and I do want to talk about, because they showed a little bit ahead of time, we're going to see a lot about it on Sunday, but it is this whole past 24, 48 hours between the when that veto ceremony happened, and then the eviction, it's been chaos ever since. And essentially, it started with Michelle. Michelle was the one that initially was saying, why are people holding back? And Paul is a clear threat. Why is no one going after him? No one's making a big move. They're going to give him the $500,000 unless they actually make a move to get him out. And so she proposes this to Natalie. And that's when you guys saw the scene in the backyard when Natalie and Bridget would be going back and forth saying the same thing. Paul is a threat. Why is no one getting him out? And so Michelle comes in into the picture, and they have that whole conversation. We should get him out. You should keep me, and we should go get Paulie out. Let's take out his girl, and let's make sure that he gets weaker by the minute. And so it's those three, and then their job is to go ahead and convince Natalie, or rather, Natalie, James. They're the same person
because he has that power that can eliminate 2 votes.
Right, exactly. And plus, he's Natalie's ally. So, my cat is being really flirtatious. So James is so Natalie and Bridget and Michelle, or specifically Natalie and Michelle, go and talk to James first, and she's like, okay, I have the votes necessary to save me. What you need to do is cancel out the 2 votes, as well as vote for me. And James is like, all right, well, I'm gonna need to talk to this person that you have. And so that's when the Bridget scene happens. Bridget comes in, and she's like, yeah, I'm the vote to save Michelle. And so James is just like, God damn it, Leo. Yeah, no, James says, all right, that's fair, let's do it. Because it's time to shake up the house. I'm ready to do it. So you have Natalie, James, and Bridget trying to save Michelle.
Shave.
And so they need one more vote, just to maybe as a cancellation vote. Someone who's on board with it. Who the hell are they gonna get? They go to Paul, who has been having issues with Paulie all this week. He's been trying to push for Sakia to go, but Paulie is not listening to him, and Paul is getting very frustrated with him. So then, Paul, James, Natalie, Michelle, they are all in the bedroom, and they all have this talk, and in fact, they all, in that scene, what they don't show is that they will reveal everything that they ever have known about the game, everything to each other. They tell us everything, they know about the Executives Alliance, everything that is to be known from that game, all their knowledge is just thrown at each other, and they all realize Paulie is the threat. Paulie needs to go.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that Paul was on board with it, because I did not think that he would be, but he's absolutely on board with it. And then he goes to convince Victor, and this is not on the show, but Paul goes to Victor and tells him the first thing that Paul says as he's walking in the room to Victor, dude, we're getting boned. So they ended up getting on board with the whole thing too. What we'll see on Sunday is that James can't lie. He essentially told Paulie everything that was happening, but he was still gonna follow through with the plan, but he essentially told Paulie everything that was gonna go on.
Awesome.
And Paulie loses his mind. He has fights with Michelle, and Natalie. He actually says to Natalie, and I hope they bring this up because this is the inappropriate comment Michelle brings up in her eviction speech.
Yeah.
The inappropriate comment was, "You're as fake as your fake tits," or something like
God
that.
God damn.
He brings up the fake tits in some way. I believe. Anyways, that was the comment that he made.
That's awful.
So that's not a good thing to say.
No.
So we get to the actual eviction itself, and Michelle and Sakia are sitting on the block, And Zakiya, she gives a nice speech. Who cares? Michelle stands up, and she basically says she doesn't care anymore. She just is like, hey, Paulie, you guys were giving Paulie $500,000, but you know what? He just blew up his own game overnight. Again, it was all with all the fighting and all the scheming and all that. You blew up your game overnight, so luckily I can leave this house with my head held high. Little did he know that basically Zakiya was gonna be booted. So Michelle sits down. They get ready to vote, but first James reveals whose votes he's going to be blocking, and that is Paul and Corey. So Paul and Corey can't vote in this upcoming eviction, and so one by one they go in, and by a vote of 3-2, Zakiya is the first one of the night to be evicted.
Yep.
So I didn't really care that much for Zakiya. I thought that she was a nice person. I was hoping that she would win more competitions. But she really just she was wrapped around Paulie's fingers, and she had to realize at some point that she could not trust him anymore. But she just never did. So it was unfortunate, but she's out of the game. So she pulled out her tickets, a one-way ticket, so she did not even get back in that way. So then we get to the first HOH competition. And would you like to explain what they had to do with this first HOH competition?
So the first HOH competition was that they had to do stuff with numbers. Julie would give a number based on a challenge or something else that happened this season. And you'd have to say, is it more or less? First one, it was about how much time Glenn had spent in the house. I think it was more than 20 hours. Like, she gave 20 hours, and most people guessed more. A couple people guessed less. I forget who. Doesn't really matter, because the next question, it was for the rolling the ball down the curvy thing. That's the official name. I changed it.
Yeah.
I changed the official name to that.
Rolling the round thing down the curvy thing.
Yeah. It was more or less than 100 total points scored. And everyone guessed less, except for Corey, who guessed more. So Corey won on a numbers competition.
Sorry, I'm having grilled cheese, but that I was on the edge of my seat because I was so happy that Paulie went, and all of a sudden I was like, all right, now Corey's gonna go, and Julia's like,
and Corey won.
The correct answer is more. And I was just like, fuck. I was so mad. So Corey ends up winning HOH, and you're like, alright, well, guess we're not getting Paulie out yet.
Nope.
So they go in, and they're all talking, and we'll see more of what the strategy behind a lot of this was during the Sunday episode, because usually we're always left in confusion after the double eviction. So the nominees that Corey chooses are Bridget and Michelle. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, so they're probably going after Michelle because she was supposed to go in the first place. So they get to the veto competition, and I always remember this competition as the infamous clown shoe debacle. But you were not around for this.
No.
But the Jeff Schroeder, who appears every once in a while for Big Brother, who does a lot of work for Big Brother, he was a house guest for seasons 11 and 13, and during his 13th season, or his second season, but for Big Brother 13, the competition that he lost, this competition is the one that he lost on. He got evicted during a double eviction.
Right.
But what happened was that they had to find Klaus shoes in the ball pit, and what happened was that when he was searching, he got one clown shoe, I believe, and when he was searching for another clown shoe, he pushed the clown shoe out of the ball pit and didn't notice. So he was searching still in the ball pit, and he kept on going, but he couldn't find it because it was outside of the course. So that's how I'll always remember that competition. I always expect it to happen again to someone, but it was just bad stuff
Yeah.
for him.
Cor-
But
Corey ended up winning.
Corey ended up winning that video. Yeah, it was a clock theme. Um,
Yeah.
but yes,
I'm running out.
yeah. So Corey wins veto, and now to me, I start thinking, well, maybe they might want to try to get Corey out before Paulie, but I'm like, no, there's no way that's gonna happen. But anyways, that was beside the point. So then we get to the veto ceremony, and the Corey decides not to use the power of veto.
Yep.
And then we have speeches. Bridget's being sweet about it again. And then Michelle comes up and she's like, alright, well, again, I blew up Paula's game, and fuck you, Nicole. And she sits down, essentially. So she basically calls Nicole out on being like a snake, saying she made a deal with her.
And she's like, I'm the fourth person who said that there's something fucking up with you.
Yeah, so...
Like Tiffany, Frank, and Devon have all said stuff.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying something. Get her out.
By the way, in that hour, did your respect for Michelle go up at all?
I'll get into that.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll get into that. There's someone else who I think a bit more respect went up for. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Well, yeah. Well, for me, it was both Michelle and Natalie, but we'll get to that in a second. So then we have the eviction, and by a surprising vote of 4-1, Bridget is eliminated. I didn't realize that, but I guess it was because Bridget is a bigger threat, maybe a bigger competition threat. Maybe they thought that she was scheming a lot. So she said something to Polly, I think, on her way out. Michelle was bawling her eyes out because she thought she was going to be evicted, but she wasn't. So Bridget's got eliminated. She didn't have the ticket, the round trip ticket. So poor old Bridget gets eliminated instead of bad boy Paulie. So
Yep.
And that's where we leave off. We have Sunday's episode, Wednesday's episode, Thursday episode, so normal week. But then we have a special Friday episode, which I don't know what that is yet. We've got no details about it.
More shit for me to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
While we try to cram in a podcast next weekend.
Oh my god, you know what? They're fucking assholes for doing that.
It was just a random Friday episode. The one day I'm not gonna basically be able to watch it because of my fucking schedule.
And another thing too is that I'm gonna be busy all next weekend, so it's it is really just not good at all.
If we don't podcast next weekend, I think we have a good excuse.
Yeah, we have there's so much that's happening, so I do apologize. All right, so
I did want to say something though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It obviously wasn't just her, but I think that if I were to go on the game and I was in a position such as Bridget was, I would want to go out kind of in the manner that she did. And what I mean by that is making a move to try to help expose Paulie's game.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it wasn't just Bridget though.
It wasn't just Bridget. I know that.
Yeah.
But she latched onto her opportunity. I think Michelle probably had more of a say in doing it, but
and
Bridget and Natalie all did a great job at being like, hey, there's something fucking up with Paulie.
Yeah.
He's running the game. We need to do something about it, and they helped and with James too, but basically expose him. And if I went out after a week where it was something that I did to help expose a threat like that, I'd be totally fine with it.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine with it too. And again, to me, I think that the real star of the whole thing was Natalie, because Natalie, she after she found out all the stuff about Paulie from Michelle, she wanted to fuck shit up. She actually said
Yeah.
that. She was, I'm gonna fuck shit up now. And she was the one that went to Bridget. She went to James. I believe she's the one that actually convinced Paul to come into the group to talk to him. So all three of them are the stars of that whole of the demise of Paulie. So
Yeah.
let me ask you then: do you think Paulie still stands a shot at winning this game?
That's a great question. I
Because
think he I think he
good.
would have to mic his way through.
He's gonna have to win every single, not every single
Not
one,
every single, because he's
but
still got some allies.
but he needs to beast it this final. If he could do that, he absolutely deserves to win.
Yeah.
But right now he's in a really rough spot because the majority of the house is against him.
Yeah.
So and he's really in trouble if the head of household next week is someone that is not on your side. Which, speaking of which, we'll get into predictions now. We're gonna spoil the HOH for you guys. We apologize, but we want to make sure that we get these predictions right. So, without any further ado, spoiler alert: the HOH competition goes through, and the winner is Victor. So Victor gets a second straight week of being a head of household.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, so Victor, when I first saw that, I'm like, all right, what is he going to do? Is he going to stay on that side, or will Paul and Victor flip back to Paulie? Will they suck up to Paulie again? So I'm iffy about this, but I have confidence in them that I think that they will stay on the good side, on the bright side.
Yeah.
So. No offense to the people that root for Paulie, I think he's on the good side. Just based on what's happened, I think we know that Paulie's the villain of the season.
Yeah.
So let's get into our predictions. What do you have for the week? What's the plan?
All right. So Victor is gonna nominate Paulie and Corey. Paulie's gonna end up winning the power of veto and totally just fuck them over. Obviously, use it on himself. They're going to nominate Nicole, and then there's going to be some weird convincing that happens, and Nicole's going to go home. And then Natalie will win the next HOH.
Yeah, I want that trio that we were just talking about to go far. Well, actually, the duo, because Bridget got eliminated. So,
Yeah.
Then we get into all right. So then I get into my predictions. Victor, I think, will nominate Corey and Nicole upright, but I think that his idea might be the backdoor Paulie, and it works out for him because Corey wins the power of veto. Corey will take himself off, unless Corey wants to take a bullet for Paulie, because that would be because Corey's dumb like that.
Yeah.
And Corey gets taken off, and Paulie goes up, and Paulie will go home, and based off of my predictions in the past, he will have the round trip ticket to come right back in. So that would be fun. So, anyways, that's our predictions, and that should be our podcast. I mean, obviously, we might.
It's been a podcast.
Yeah, we would go into more details of what happened in the Sunday Wednesday episodes, but I feel like none of that really matters because now
There wasn't a ton that happened other than the competitions.
yeah, and it really again all hit the fan. Everything has hit the fan. Everything has just gone chaotic, and Paulie is now in one of the worst positions. Wait, on Monday he was in the best position out of everyone in the house. Now he is in one of the worst. So just shows how quickly this game can change. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Would you like to do a recommendation or?
What could I recommend? I started watching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I guess I could do that.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Why the fuck not?
Yu-Gi-Oh is a lot like Big Brother.
Is it? Is it actually?
Yes, because
Do you know what a trap card is?
Yes, because Corey likes to cosplay Yu-Gi-Oh in his spare time.
Oh, okay. That's
I like to think that anyway.
fuck, Chris.
I would really like it if Corey, like, we just find out that Corey is like a gay nerd.
I don't understand who you are as a person.
Well, he's been kind of homophobic, so it would be funny if it just. And he's a jock, so it would be funny if it was the complete opposite this entire time. Oh man. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching.
It sounds like when a comedy movie is just like giving up at the end.
Yeah, it
And
really
then,
is.
like the climax happens, and then like every like weird thing like turns out really well in the end.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, dodgeball.
there you go. Oh my god. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll hopefully see you guys next week. But again,
Who the fuck knows?
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's been kind of chaotic. Let's hope for a good week. See you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye.